Are the megachurches that we see today all over the world a biblical concept? That's coming up next on The Beat. Hey everyone, my name is Parr. Thank you all so much for tuning into The Beat. If this is your first time here, this channel is all about helping people grow spiritually by giving them tools, training, and teaching from the Word of God. And so today we are asking the question, are mega churches a biblical concept? Or are they all about buildings, bucks, and bodies? So in order to answer this question, we want to take a look at 7 things from the book of Acts chapter 2 that will help us assess whether or not a church is a healthy church or an unhealthy church. Number 1, it says that they were devoted to the apostles' teaching. One of the biggest pet peeves I have against many contemporary churches today is that we have pretty much abandoned and moved away from solid biblical verse-by-verse teaching. We don't even have Sunday school anymore. Our Christian education programs are basically extinct, and we have moved exclusively to a small group model. And while I'm a big proponent of small groups cannot replace biblical verse-by-verse teaching from the Word of God, because when people go through difficulties in their lives, they need truth to be able to hold on to. So the first question that I would ask is this church teaching the Word of God? Number 2, it says that they were devoted to fellowship. In other words, a healthy church is one that provides opportunities for people to get connected to other people. It's great to be connected to God, but we need to have fellowship and accountability with others. As a matter of fact, verse 46 says that they would go into each other's homes and break bread and have fellowship. And so the next question I would ask is, does this church provide genuine, authentic opportunities for me to get connected to other people so that we can do life together? Number 3, it says that they were not only devoted to teaching and fellowship, but also to prayer. Are we praying for the lost? Are we praying for the tragedies that are happening in our society? Are we praying for our churches? Are we praying for our leaders? Are we praying for our communities? So the third thing that I would ask is this church a church that is committed and dedicated to prayer? Number 4, simply ask the question, are we seeing regular testimonies of God's power? Notice it says here that everyone was filled with a sense of awe at the many wonders and signs. I believe that one of the main reasons why this millennial generation is leaving the church in droves is because we are not seeing enough tangible signs and testimonies of God's power. Now, when I say God's power, I'm not referring to people being raised from the dead or miraculously healed. I'm just simply saying power that changes lives, power that restores marriages, power that delivers people from certain addictions, power that can change the life of a teenager who is hooked on sexual immorality or pornography, and we see that same teenage child commit themselves to a life of purity. So the next question I would ask is, do I see tangible, regular signs of God's power in this church? Number 5, is this church generous? Notice it says here that all of the members of the church actually sold their property so that no one else in the church would have a need. And so when we see a church that is generous, that is giving back to those who are less fortunate, helping the community and doing things to help make sure that those who are without and those who are less fortunate are taken care of, that would be the sign of a healthy church. Number 6, authentic praise and worship. I believe that every healthy church should be filled with a sense of vibrant praise. When we go into a church, worship should not be a boring experience. Now, I'm not suggesting that every Sunday people need to be shouting and running around the church and falling out, but what I am suggesting is a healthy church is a church where you can sense the presence of God moving in worship. And finally, number 7, are people getting saved and being baptized? Notice it says here in verse 47 that God added to their number daily those who were being saved. This means that a healthy church is not just focused on building up their members and making disciples of people who are already saved, but actually going out and doing outreach, not just to invite them to your church so that you can build bigger buildings, have more bucks, and pack more bodies in there, but actually to see people get saved and baptized on a regular basis. So are mega churches biblical? Well, if they are only focused on buildings, bucks, and bodies, then I would say no. But if they are focused on doing these 7 things, then I see no particular limit in the Bible in terms of how many members a church can have. So guys, I also hope this list of 7 things will give you some things to look for if you are in between churches and looking for a church home. Question of the day: what are some things that are important to you in terms of a church home? Leave those in the comment section below. Hey, if you like this video, hit the like button, share it with your friends, be sure and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time on The Beat.